Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I'm RJB from RJB TV, and I'm here to bring you some Byul against Burgersasu, Terran against Zerg. And oh boy, can I tell you that I am looking forward to this one, because historically speaking, the most fun Zerg games against Terran that I've seen on fastest map, and the most unique games I've ever seen, they've all been Burgersasu on Zerg. His Zerg against Terran, I've just seen so much amazing stuff coming out of this guy's mind, out of his hands, out of his gameplay, that I haven't quite yet seen on the same level of fun as others. I mean, some players, they do play a better Zerg than he does. That's just a given. That's 100% true. Some players do play a better Zerg than Burgersasu, but he plays the most fun one in 1v1. I'm very hyped about this one. I'm very hyped. Now, I'm not quite sure whether Byul is going for barracks, or... Okay, he's not gonna rush. He's not gonna rush. He's gonna go barracks, supply depot, and I assume a gas in the back. That's what I'm assuming, okay? That's what I'm assuming. This doesn't quite look like a bunker rush, because usually the bunker rush build order would have 2 barracks, and yes, it is true, he's going to go for fast factories. He has to wall off that front, and he's going to put his marines behind the supply depot he's going to build right here. He's going to put his marines right here behind it, and then the Zerglings cannot walk through. And that's the entire goal of this build order, keep those Zerglings out of the base. But luckily for Byul, or I'd say luckily for Burgersasu, Byul is Burgersasu is not going for Zerglings. He's not going for very fast Zerglings. Now, there is an attempt at some sort of a rush here from Byul on a single barracks, because when you go for a very fast barracks build order, you can always try to bunker rush a Zerg choke. Because why not? That's literally the one question you can ask yourself, why not? And the answer, of course, is there's no reason not to. So Byul is trying exactly that. 2 Marines are scouting the map, but he's not going to find Burgersasu soon, because he's on the top corner here with 2 hatcheries finished up. Well, 1 finished up, 1 more on the way, and another 1 on the way. So double hatchery, pool gas hatchery. He's saving up his larvae to build Zerglings though. But he's not really planning on rushing with them. They're mostly there to defend himself against rushes from Byul, but Byul is not really rushing anymore. He tried to go for somewhat of a marine rush to hit a choke. Like, just be annoying, try to stop those Sunkens from morphing. But given he found Burgersasu this late into the game, that's not going to happen. We might get Zergling speed, or maybe he's going to go straight into a lair. 2 options, Zergling speed or a lair. And he goes for the lair. He is not going to go for Zergling speed. He might have gone for Zergling speed in the situation that Byul was going to go for an attack himself, but no attack coming out there. No attack happening from Byul. Just wants to get his own factories up and running. Burgersasu has not yet found where Byul is located, but he finds that there is a vulture on the map, and that might cause Burgersasu to adjust his plans. And yes, he is adjusting his plans. He's getting a den. He canceled the lair. And he's going to go straight into Hydralisks. And this is what I mean with Burgersasu having a very fun Zerg. Because not a lot of players would decide to do this. Not a lot of players would decide to transition into Hydralisks. But Burgersasu, he's the kind of guy to do exactly that. Switch up and try to trick that Terran with a Hydralisk switch after maybe already revealing his lair. So vultures there coming out onto the map. They have mines being researched. We have a couple of Hydralisks there from Burgersasu finished up, waiting for an overlord so we can build another wave of them Hydralisks. Byul there might have seen the Hydralisk, might have seen the Hydralisk den. so he might know what is happening. Burgersasu trying to hide those Hydralisks a little bit, but these ones are revealing the secret strategy he's got up his sleeve. This one scouted the entire base as well there, got in there, took a shot, and walked out. Burgersasu might have to do some mine clearing on the middle, but he's got overlords there on that pathway, so he should be able to clear out those mines. But Byul has to place them anyway, just to make sure that Burgersasu has to clear out the mines, because if he doesn't place them, Burgersasu can just walk right through. But he decides against it. He's got to turn back and wait there in the front and get a lair, another hatchery on the way. I really thought he was going to go more aggressive, but it turns out he's doing this to repel the vultures from ever attacking and harassing. You're back at home, double tank is finished up. We have 2 more command centers there on the way for Byul, 28 SCVs, 4 factories, and a whole lot of mines on the middle to slow Burgersasu down in the case that he decides to push across the map. But Burgersasu is using his time to drone up really quick and a lot. Already on 27 drones, almost the exact same number as Byul has SCVs, which is a great sign for Burgersasu. Now Byul knows he cannot quite yet push with a lot of force. He has to wait for a couple more units to really get added to his army, really. He might put them somewhere on the middle here, or he might put them on the corner there, or he might actually try to push forward here. Byul apparently believes more in this than I do, but he changed his mind, pulls those tanks back, and he's going to wait for a couple more tanks and vultures to spawn, getting himself a Karen boosters, because you never know, maybe a Spire is on the way. But nope, it's double Evo Chamber. We're getting Overlord's speed already, getting Carapace in attack, and all the Hydralisk upgrades are finished as well. 30 drones. He's going to go for mass Hydralisks and trying to get a surround on Byul's army as it tries to move in, but Byul's still playing very safe. Byul is playing very safe. He tried to do some touching and feeling around the edges to see if Burgersasu was attackable or not, and it turns out he is not attackable. Now, having a couple of tanks on the middle would make this push into the middle by Burgersasu a little bit harder, because he would be taking tank fire, so the mines are going to go down, but the mines slow down just enough, and a couple mines actually do explode on the Hydras, which is the entire point of the vultures placing mines in the middle. Buy time, and hopefully also hit some Hydralisks. That's the entire point, and it's working. So both players currently locked into somewhat of a stalemate. We have a pretty good choke there from Byul. Burgersasu can never ever get in. We got Goliaths on the way, because I really do think he is expecting Mutalisks. I really do think Byul is expecting a switch into Mutalisk, but the Mutalisks are never ever coming. At least not yet. So he scans the entire base from Burgersasu there and sees a hive is on the way, and he does not see a spire. He does not see a spire, which means it is time to go. It's time to attack. He scanned the entire base, see that it's safe to go. There's nothing to worry about. No worries about counterattacks. No worries about Mutalisk micro from those hills. Just Hydralisk waiting. Zerking speed on the way. Hive almost finished up. We have a Spider on the way on the side, though. We have level 1-1 for those Hydralisks almost finished up. The tanks are in 0-0, but we have armories built and upgrading the attack for those tanks. I might have cast this game before at some point in time. I don't recall it. I don't recall casting it. I did check the channel, but I've got too many videos. I've got like 500 videos. Sometimes it's hard to find something you've already cast when there's 500 videos and you did not build an archive that really, you know, shows which ones I've cast and which ones I haven't cast. So there's going to be some recasts here and there, but this game does not look familiar to me. We've got the Fireman on the way. Byul is pushing very slowly. He knows he cannot take the risk of getting surrounded by a big army of Hydralisks, because we have a lot of Hydras here on the map, lurkers in between, Zerglings as well, and it looks like Burgersasu is feeling lucky because he's going right in on the attack. Lurkers burrowing up there in the front, scan coming down. Zerk, this is just a huge push coming down from Burgersasu onto the tanks, and Byul is getting absolutely destroyed here in this choke point. This surround from Burgersasu is beautiful, and I've never ever seen anyone play this specific strategy that Burgersasu is doing, but he's making it work, and it's working oh so well. He's going to push across the map, push across the middle. We got mines there, and we do not have Overlord. So Burgersasu is going to get stopped dead in his track, although it turns out the Zerglings are triggering all the mines and clearing the path wide open. More mines exploding, tanks going down to the mines as well, but the last couple of mines and this small little wall there in the front is going to keep Burgersasu from entering. So he turns around, lost too much of his army, but he also almost killed the entire army Byul had on the map. So this was an equivalent exchange where both players lost equal amounts of units, but Burgersasu comes out in the better situation. Vultures getting spotted on the middle and getting taken down. Byul there being very greedy with that move forward, but cannot quite actually achieve anything. And we already have Defilers on the map. Burgersasu is stepping on the gas. 55 drones, he had 35 just 10 seconds ago. He's droning up really hard, and he's then gonna try to get a Dark Swarm up on the middle to keep these tanks from, well, entering the middle and pushing across. But was just a little bit too late. Byul was just a little bit too fast entering the middle. He had, of course, a bigger economy already, so it's easier for Byul to grow bigger and attack and push across the map than it is for Burgersasu to do the exact same, because Burgersasu's economy is smaller. He's catching up, but it's still smaller. As you can see, a lot of factories, a lot of startboards. We have, I'd say there's about 12 tanks on the middle there, ready to go, but supply is catching up. We have about a 14 worker difference, but about a 50 supply difference, so the army definitely is bigger for Byul. But Burgersasu has Lurkers and Dark Swarm, which kind of negates the entire supply lead that Byul has, because Byul does not have science vessels. Not really has a lot. Oh, not really has a lot. They can. Oh well, if this happens, the Lurkers will go down. Too late there with the Dark Swarm. So Byul once again a little bit faster than Burgersasu with taking the initiative. And here he might be trying to trick Byul into believing that there are Lurkers under a Dark Swarm. There are no Lurkers. But when Byul sees this, he might be under the impression that there might just be Lurkers right here. But Byul now is setting up a contain position around Burgersasu, not aggressively pushing forward. Lurkers have finished morphing, and they're going to enter that Dark Swarm. Byul scans, sees the Dark Swarm, and I think he realizes that there's nothing underneath. Now it's going to be a race against the clock for Burgersasu to get into position. Tanks have sieged up, Zerglings are taking fire. Gets the Dark Swarm there right in that pathway, and he is going to seal off that front door and make sure Byul does not push through. Beautifully done. Exactly on time. Exactly on time. So far, this really has been a push and a pull game where both players are kind of pushing and pulling on each other. And they're pushing each other in either direction, tiny little bits, but neither of the two really gets a decisive push or pull that throws the other off balance. So far, this is looking like the kind of Terran against Zerg that's shaping up to be an epic one. Oh, pretty good swarms there, but there's just too many. There's just too many Lurkers. He's loading up a drop here, but we already have his top side protected by turrets, and the bottom side is getting protected by turrets just in time. Yet again, Byul is just on time for the 5th time, again and again and again. We have a lot of anti-vessel protection here on those sides. Spores in the front, spores in the top, spores in the bottom. Vessels are not going to have an easy time getting in there. Even more spores around the main. Burgersasu is turtling up like no one has ever turtled up before at only 14 minutes in. He basically took his foot off the gas and is going all in on defending. Now the downside of all in on defending, of course, is that the Terran gets more time to build a bigger base. You have 9 starports on the top, 1 at the bottom, and we have about 14, well, make it 12 factories. The production is off the charts for Byul, but Burgersasu has 9 hatcheries on the bottom, 4 on the top, make it 5 on the top. He's got 14 hatcheries. For a Terran against Zerg game, 14 hatcheries is a lot of production. You don't really need more than that because it's all about advanced technology, not so much about how many units you can build within the blink of an eye. It's about having the right units, the correct units. And for that you only need about 10, maybe even 14 hatcheries in total. Now Byul there being forced out of that base yet again, gonna try to sneak over the bottom side but taking a lot of shots on his tanks. That might not have been the best choice. He tried to force it. Now on fastest map you can afford to make such moves. You can afford to lose a couple of tanks because you can just build a couple new ones. It doesn't hurt you that much. It's not much of a setback. Sometimes it is good to lose units trying to push yourself forward into a better position. Oh, the lurkers all going down in the front. This is the moment. This is his opportunity to go. Although we got Guardians in the back. We have some Goliaths, some Vessels. Not a whole lot to kill those Guardians that are hanging in the back. And I think Byul might have scanned them, although he's now rolling forward with those tanks. Going to get another Dark Swarm, but the Dark Swarm disappears, so no longer has the protection of the Dark Swarm for his tanks. Got lurkers morphing there, trying to get under this Dark Swarm. It's going to be really fast in order to get under there. Otherwise, Byul is going to advance forward even more. And yeah, he's just in time. Lurkers have finished up. New defilers have spawned. Gonna have to consume really quick a couple of those Zerglings. Get more Dark Swarms going. Guardians getting radiated, stacking up. They're going towards the drones, and they turn around just in time. But now, more Dark Swarms in the front. We have one Lurker underneath. The other ones cannot unburrow at the moment because there's too many tanks ready to shoot on them. So upgrades. I haven't talked about upgrades in a while. 2, 3 on the tanks. Very good upgrades. We have 2-1 on the Zerglings, and I cannot... Lurkers 2-2. The air is on 1-1. So every single upgrade is on the way for Burgersasu. Then loading on the side, clear out that top base. You can fly over it later on in the game, and maybe even go for a small little attack from the top. Also worried about the front here. You did kill some tanks. There was a large group of tanks sitting right here. It's all gone. So he's doing a good job of keeping Byul busy. Now he's going to unload on the bottom. So first on the top, then on the bottom. Going to have to clear out both the top and the middle right. He's got to clear those out to open a path for future overlords to fly over, or maybe even a big Mutalisk ball that wants to go for the kill on the command center. A really good player from Burgersasu. He's playing faster than Byul now. Byul is known to be a little bit slower after the 50-minute point in the game. You can see it as APM. He's having trouble keeping up with Burgersasu, who's just faster by 100 to 150 APM, basically for as long as the game goes on. So clears out that right side, clears out the top side, gets control back, sending new SCVs to build new turrets. Now we have a little bit of abuse with the Valkyries, but there's so many spores. This is the purest form of Zerg defense. Spores all over the place. Lurker, Dark Swarm in the front, but it's only 2 Lurkers in the front. Make it 0. They'll die to the radiates. So now it's time for the Guardians to strike, but the tank is setting up there in the front. Difficult situation there for Burgersasu. One to fight there on the top, burrowed up. Gets taken out by splash damage. Does he have any more of them? Yes, they're in the back. 2 more defilers. Does he have Lurkers? No. Does he have Guardians? Yes. He's going to try to get a push forward with Guardians? Yes. Zerglings are going to try to buy some time, it appears. Going to try to buy some time. Going to get a plague up on something. Yeah, pretty good delay tactics. Massive scans coming out. Sees all the Guardians morphing in the back. And the Varus in the mix as well. Does not have a lot of Goliaths. There's a lot of Valkyries, but we have the Varus on the map. And Valkyries do not like the Varus. They absolutely destroy the Valkyries. Radiates. Going to try to kill the Varus. He's got a lot of them. So the Varus are getting weakened in numbers, but the Valkyries have been debuffed. So now the Guardians have pretty much about 30 seconds to clear out all the tanks and push forward. Not enough radiates, it turns out. Not enough radiates. If only he had Goliaths. He's building 11 Goliaths all at the same time, but this big army here on the middle is getting absolutely surrounded, absolutely destroyed by the Burgersasu, which should give him the opportunity to once again clear out those sides and get back control over the map. We have a couple of upgrades there, 2-1. The Vars have all been taken down after all in the end. Took a while, but they are all dead and gone. Vessels still there waiting in the middle with no energy at all. Goliaths are coming in, swooping in from the bottom, trying to kill the Guardians, but we have so many Guardians. Although the upgrades on those Goliaths, 333, does make them stronger than the Guardians. A couple more radiates coming down there on the Guardians, moving to the top side, trying to clear this out. Hydralisks entering the middle as well. Oh, this is great. Goliaths are good against Guardians. Hydralisks are great against Goliaths, but then tanks are good against the Hydralisks. So we have a little bit of everything going on here. Even Ultralisks are now on the way for Burgersasu. Getting a Dark Swarm down there up in the front. Not sure why though. Not sure why. That Dark Swarm won't really do too much, although he did clear out the bottom side. The big Overlord drop is moving over the bottom. We have Valkyries that saw it happen. Byul saw these Overlords leave, so they're on the bottom side, scans for them. Burgersasu sees that he's getting scanned, so he splits up in two directions. And he starts to unload one group, doesn't quite get them all unloaded, gets a Plague off on the Valkyries. Two Lurkers at Unburrow. He has, I think, about 100 energy there. Nah, 50. So cannot quite put down a Lurker Swarm. Getting a radius down on those Lurkers. Into the Fighter as well. Overlord's trying to escape, but they get taken down. Guess another Plague there. Come on, use the Plague one more time. One more Plague on the Valkyries. Nope, not gonna happen. This is just stuff happening all over the place. But now the Ultras have entered the battle. And they are fully upgraded. Almost fully upgraded on the attack. So let's get level 3 attack there. The level 2 for the Zerglings and Ultralisk entering the middle there. So yeah, right now it looks like Byul has regained control of the map. We still have those Zerglings that unloaded earlier, killing and clearing out this middle right. So there's a lot of points of contention. Oh, Byul trying to set up, but Burgersasu responds just in time. Not the most beautiful Dark Swarm, but it does push those tanks away further back into the middle. It's really, this is the most back and forth push and pull that I've probably seen happen in a Korean Terran against Zerg. Usually the Terrans just absolutely dominate, but this time around, it really is an even battle with both players pushing and pulling. Mines might just explode on all the tanks. No, he avoids his own mines, kills a lot of lurkers with the mines. Beautifully microed. Gets only 2 lurkers, 3 lurkers under the Dark Swarm. More height is coming in, more mines exploding. The fighter goes down there. Top side is really beautifully rebuilt. Taking out that one. He's just gonna build turrets on the bottom right of the map. If you can get the middle right, get the bottom right. Because this is still one of those paths that Burgersasu has to fly over in order to fly Overlords to Byul's base. But now he's also opening up this 12 o'clock spawn for Overlords to fly over, or maybe to get a lot of Mutalisks to fly over. Here under in the middle, he's flying back and forth over the middle, hunting down the Filers to stop the Dark Swarms that are slowing Byul down. Byul can theoretically move around this point, but that's going to be a lot of effort. It's easier to just clear this out, prevent the Dark Swarms, and then move in a straight line instead of having to manually send every single unit around that point on the middle. Mass Ultralisk on the middle. Radius coming down on the Ultras, onto the Fighter as well. The Fighter has to run really quick to try and get a Dark Swarm off there in the front. Gets the Dark Swarm off in the front, but the Lurker dies, so it's only Ultralisks under the Dark Swarm against sieged up tanks. Though most of them not sieged up, but everything does die. Big drop. Burgersasu is playing so fast. He cleared out this entire top section just 30 seconds ago, and the big massive drop is already flying on over the top. He's playing at maximum speed. Fake Overlords there, coming in first to distract, to draw away attention, and here comes the real one, going straight for the main. Not much in the back to protect. Gonna unload on the scene. There's gonna be a lot of units here. That's gonna be a lot of units. He's unloading at any point now. Or that's not as many units as I thought there would be. That's... Did he trick him? And this is gonna be the real attack? Mass Mutalisk with a queen coming in over the top? This was all just a distraction. But he's pushing in the front. There's nothing here back at home to defend. This is gonna be a base trade. Comes in over the top. Oh, Radiate's coming down. This has to be really fast, killing the command center, because that Radiate is destroying his Mutalisk. Oh, he gets it. He's gonna get everything? I don't think so. There's not enough Mutalisks left alive. Although there's also nothing that can shoot up into the sky except for one Goliath that just died. So now we have 2 points on the map where people are pushing against each other. One right here. Valkyries have spawned. Mutalisks are over low HP. The Mutalisks will die. Will they? Will they die? Are they gonna die? It does look like it, but it's a very slow process. This is more important though. Radiating everything he can, getting those lurkers out of the way. It's getting closer and closer. We have a lot of Ultralisks spawning though. A lot of tanks waiting to take them down. We have like 20 vessels in the air. But oh boy, those Ultralisks are absolutely destroying those tanks. But is there too much? Is there too much? The tanks to survive because a Lurker Dark Swarm up inside this very useful position, but Byul's just splitting up to both sides. He has a big bank to rely on to keep on producing and producing and producing for at least another 10 minutes. Did he? Oh, he picked up a Defiler. Beautifully done. Making sure it doesn't get radiated. The amount of attention to detail Burgersasu is displaying right now is pretty damn good. Clears out his base. Pushes Byul away. Vessels retreat. Tanks waiting on the middle. He's gonna have to set up a new contain all around Burger's base. Now the downside for Burger is though he spent all of his gas, he's kind of locked into just building large waves of Zerglings. He's got Ultralisks morphing, throwing away some drones to open up some supply space. Goodbye drones. You mined well. You did your job, but now you're getting laid off. Sadly, it's time for more fighting power. So Byul is really struggling. Byul is really struggling. Burgers, oh, the radiates though. He's finding such great radiates. He's constantly, basically these players are constantly fighting. Like his APM looks like only 190. But he's playing like he's actually playing on 300 APM. He's so efficiently using everything he's got at the moment. Burgersasu buys himself a little bit more ground, but no lurkers underneath this one. They're all underneath the back one. So, which means, you know, Byul can push forward a little bit. The Dark Swarm ends. Just a little bit too slow getting a new one. More lurkers are morphing. Supplies 150 against 188. Byul currently has, you know, more fighting power than Burgersasu, but the Dark Swarm just keep turning the tide. It is perhaps the strongest spell in fastest map. Dark Swarms with lurkers underneath. Terran just cannot push forward. He completely secures the entire entrance yet again. He's trying to split up though. He's trying to get some tanks into this bottom section. While the Dark Swarm comes down, Lurklings are there to take fire. Lurkers are burrowing up, and he pushes Byul back a little bit more yet again. No, there's nothing in there. Okay, so he's just pushing him back. Both players are... They both have every single upgrade that there is. So there's nothing left to say about upgrades. They have every single upgrade that there is. Right now, we're just looking at a pure back and forth fight over this choke point. It's just the fact that Burger has to spend gas non-stop that's making this very difficult for him. He's having trouble building enough lurkers, building enough guardians. The gas is just always being spent non-stop all the time. You know what would be great? If Burgersasu could find the time to put some of his lurkers into an overlord and fly across the map, because this is wide open. Wide open across the map. The top side is wide open. And yeah, the vessel use from Byul is great. It's just great. He keeps finding defilers, keeps radiating lurkers as well, he almost manages every single time. Like, look how many lurkers are radiated as they unburrow, and most of them go down to tank shots. Perhaps not the best push forward there. He lost most of his lurkers, and he does not have a lot of them here in the back. He's got some of them morphing, but not a lot of them. Well, okay, he just morphed another 10, but it's gonna take a little while before those finish up. And more radiates are almost ready. He's got 20 vessels in the air. You can just keep throwing radiates pretty much non-stop. There's no end. No end. Oh, there's 2 overlords leaving. He's doing exactly as I said. It's about 7 Zerglings, 1 Defiler, and 2 Lurkers. All he's got to do is keep buying time at this exact point. He has to keep Byul from entering. It's just, the amount of vessels is honestly just ridiculous. It's absolutely does not make sense. It does not make sense how many vessels he's got spread out here over the front. The fighter goes down once again. He's got 1 more in the back. More lurkers morphing, ready to move into those dark swarms. He's just preemptively setting up massive amounts of dark swarms all over, lurker groups all over his front to pull back to. Goes in, Valkyries on the scene, starts a load. Valkyries do not kill the overlords in time. He's got the dark swarm there as well. Lurkers are killing the SCVs, and now the backside of Byul's economy is in a lot of danger. He's in a lot of danger. And now the question becomes, can Byul win this game with his limited amount of money? He's got to kill a Defiler and 2 lurkers here in the back. Oh, actually, it's just 1 lurker. 1 single lurker survived. Now there's a push here from Burgersasu into this choke point. Did he get his lurkers under the Dark Swarm? No. But he soon will get lurkers under that Dark Swarm, so Byul retreats just outside of lurker spine range if they had been under the Dark Swarm. Getting tanks on the high ground. Very dangerous stuff happening. Pushing forward. Now Burgersasu has to dislodge those tanks on the high ground. Double radiate on the lurkers. Gets a Dark Swarm right next to the hill, so that's going to clear that out. Forced to lift up those command centers. Byul is just going all in. Byul is not even going to try to properly clear this out and defend his main economy. He's going all out on the attack, but all his entire army just disappeared. Everything just disappeared right here. With more army coming from back home, pushing across the map, but this attack from Burgersasu is cleaning out the hills, cleaning out the pathway, clearing out the skies as well. A lot of vessels are gone, yet like 20 of them, and I see only 5 on the scene. He's got 1 back at home. Zergling is still destroying. It killed a starport by itself. And remaining vessels have been taken down there by the Scourges. Found the last 5. There's no detection anymore on the map. Has to wait for more vessels to arrive. They're right here back at home. But he's running out of gas. And out of money. The 4 command centers. But Byul has been hit in devastating manners. There's not much to fall back on. This is basically the last bit of army that he's got. Because he has no gas. No gas. Vessels are flying across with some dropships. He's going to have to get some tanks on the high ground to get a stronger position on this choke point. The Vars in the air. There's a couple of Goliaths, but they don't really contribute much. Another big overlord drop over the top side. Scourges are in the mix. But, you know, units leaving the main base means that there's not much in the main base left to defend. So there is a small chance that Byul can push forward quite deep. Although Burgersasu just keeps throwing units at these tanks and vessels and keeps them busy, stops them from moving forward. Trying to fight good radiates, big army coming in over the top. he can just unload anywhere he wants and he will win the game. Just unload anywhere you want and you win the game. Find some vessels. Radius coming down. Overlord's unloading right on top of those SCVs. Go, burrowing up those lurkers. Does he have any fighters in the mix? No. But doesn't matter. No. Because the Zerglings are getting on top of the tanks and killing. Actually, it does make a difference. But he also killed almost all the SCVs that were mining. Killed almost all the SCVs, so he did what he had to do. If he had a Defiler in the mix, he could have done more, but he did not need to do more. What he achieved was just enough. Once again, pushing Byul away from the choke point. Will the Radiates be enough? He actually has no energy. He's trying to push forward into the base, but now we have a switch into Mutalisks because there's nothing that can shoot up into the air. Everything that could kill air units has been killed. So now the Mutalisks have free time flying back and forth, killing whatever they want. We have Valkyries coming across, we've got Vessels there in the back, waiting for Radiates to throw down on the Mutalisks, but will it be in time? The tanks are dying, and he cannot make new tanks. Losing the tanks means it's a definitive GG, because when the tanks are gone, there's nothing that can stop a ground army from pushing across the map, just like this. Look at this aggressive push forward, Dark Swarms across the entire pathway, gets control, pushes Byul away, Byul is retreating. More units? Oh, he's trying to trick him. Okay, that's just tricking him. It's a mind game. There's nothing in there, but this is quite menacing. This is quite menacing. If you ask me, is this menacing? I'd say yes, damn it is. Pushing forward, Byul supply, 100 below Burgersasu gets us around on those tanks. Byul looks like he's giving up. Looks like Byul is giving... No! He's not giving up. He's gonna keep on trying, but this might just seal the deal. Got 44 SCVs on the minerals, but no gas. Almost no gas. 87 supply. Ultralisks are on the way. Lurkers pushing forward. Vessels trying to do the best they can with some Radiates, but there's only 3 of them left alive. There's a couple more of them on the way, but only 3 vessels. You cannot defend against this mass Ultralisk attack. There's 5 tanks spread about the base. But there's no way that it can save Byul's face or stay in the race. Because this is the place where Burgersasu gets to crown himself king. Yeah, Burgersasu with a beautiful Zerg against Terran game. Looked a little bit familiar here and there. Maybe I've cast this before, maybe I have not. But oh boy, does it matter, because this match was phenomenal. It was enjoyable, it was great, it was unique, it had a lot of creativity as well. Really a true Burgersasu Zerg against Terran match that is going into the books as an epic one. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, and have a great day.